Howdy, this is Lemmy with RevZilla, here to talk to you today about the best sport bike tires for grip. So if you're watching this video, we know that you probably have a sport or sporty motorcycle and you're looking for a set of sticky tires for it. We also know that it can be a little bit scary looking at all of the options. When you pull up your common sport bike sizes on just about any website that sells tires, you just get a flood of results. There's not really a great way to know which things are necessarily going to be right for you and which are going to be dead wrong. Hopefully we can chisel down the options and present to you some of the things here that we think are going to work best for you that we've had good luck with over the years here at RevZilla. So first we're going to talk about the bikes these things are actually made to fit. Specifically, this video is going to focus on middleweight and larger motorcycles. So if you've got a sport bike, a sport naked, a sport touring, anything utilizing a 180, 190, 200 rear, and you have a pair of 17-inch wheels on there, this video is likely going to help you out. Again, we're shying away from some of the smaller bikes down below. Their tire sizes are just a little bit more erratic. However, we do have one tire in here you do want to take a look at if you are on a small bike. Don't click away just yet. Now, we also need to talk about intended usage. If you're looking for big mileage, I understand. This just isn't your video. We did also make a sport bike for mileage video too, so if you're trying to get long wear out of your tires, check this video out, but that one probably has all the stuff that you actually want in there. Instead, what we're focusing on here are riders who are hitting it real hard. Whether you're carving up some canyons, you're hitting occasional track days, or maybe you have a track-only motorcycle, some of the tires you're going to see here are going to be very helpful. This is also going to be great for those of you who are just riding super aggressively on the street. A track tire is not always the right tire for most riders unless you have a dedicated track bike and you're among the very fastest people, so we don't usually recommend them to folks. Instead, some of the stuff you're going to see here is probably going to help you go your very fastest on your street legal motorcycle. That having been said, let's get into some of the products we're going to talk about today. Alrighty, first up we've got the Pirelli Diablo Supercorsa. Now the Supercorsa is a very aggressive tire, super sticky. This is a W-rated tire. It's going to deal with all but the fastest of motorcycles. This is currently the fastest motorcycle speed rating we've seen on a tire yet. Now if you actually examine this thing, you'll notice there's very little tread on here. You are not going to be encumbered by lots and lots of voids in between the rubber. What that means is you have the maximum amount of rubber you can get actually on the road itself. Speaking of that rubber, it actually comes in a few different compounds on this tire. This is actually a triple compound tire. So as we move from the outside of the tire towards the center of the tread, the rubber is going to get progressively harder, trying to give this tire a fighting chance at living a slightly longer life than if it was just made of wintergreen bubble gum. This tire too also has a very aggressive profile. Check this out. You can see how pointed the tire is. This is important for those of you who are hitting the twisties and you're hitting them hard. What this aggressive profile is going to do for you is make your bike easy to pick up off of one side and flip back down onto the other. If you prize cornering and handling, a set of Supercorsas is going to help your bike out in a very big way. As I mentioned, these things do heat up super quick. This is probably one of the stickiest tires that you can spend your money on. It's going to be just as at home on the track as it is out there on the street. Let's move on to the next set of skins. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Michelin Power RS. This is one of Michelin's latest offerings. Unlike the Supercorsa you just looked at, this tire is going to be a little bit more at home on the street. Now there's a couple cool technologies that Michelin has kind of cooked up into this tire. Let's talk about a couple of them real briefly. I'm sure you guys can notice these lines coming through the tire. This is actually a dual compound tire, unlike the triple compound we saw before. But again, keeping that softer rubber out towards the shoulders to give you cornering confidence when you really need it most, when you've got the bike laid over on its side. Now, of course, one of the other cool things that Michelin does here too is they use their adaptive casing technology. Now, this sounds super duper techno difficult to understand. It's really not. It's very simple. The sidewalls have body plies that are folded back over. They're doubled over themselves and then fused together. What that means is you get a tire that's exceptionally soft throughout the tread area, but then it's very rigid in the sidewall. The body of the tire itself can conform well to the road. However, the sidewalls are going to transmit lots of feed and feedback to you, the rider. So you've got a tire that's able to grab the road and kind of chew on it a little bit, and then you've got sidewalls that are feeding lots of information back to you. Again, it's going to promote confidence and cornering. Also W-rated, should be good on just about the fastest motorcycles out there. Let's move on to the next set of skins. Let's move on to the Bridgestone RS10. If you loved the OEM tires on your leader bike, it's very likely that the RS10 may have been the tire that you really liked. It gives very OEM-like performance. These are a super sticky tire and they do not last long at all, which is exactly what these things are actually intended to do. So once again, if you loved that OEM tire on your bike, take a look at the RS10. Even if you didn't have an RS10 on your bike, this is going to provide very neutral OEM tire-like ability. It's going to be a very chameleon-esque tire. It's going to do a lot of things very well for a lot of different motorcycles. This is the exact same tire that Honda sees fit to put on the $184,000 RC213V. If it's good enough for that bike, it's probably good enough for yours. Super sticky tire, not the greatest life. Look, this thing is here to let you have a good time. It's not here to be around for a long time. Let's move on to another tire. Finally, we have up here our last tire, the Dunlop Sportmax GPR 300 tire. Now, this is a fairly intriguing tire for a couple of different reasons. The first is that this baby comes in a lot of different sizes. Not only will this fit your larger middleweight and leader bike size sport bikes, but instead this will also come in sizes too, suitable for smaller bikes, the 300 and 500 classes as well. Now, this is your budget buster tire. Specifically, that's why it's up here. It's a pretty good sport bike tire for those, again, middleweight and larger motorcycles. And man, these babies are cheap. You can grab your stereotypical 180 and 120 rear and front combo set, $200 shipped to your door. That is damn hard to beat. Now, the reason they're in the performance section, however, though, is not for you big bike guys. It's for those of you who are on the smaller motorcycles. Now, here at RevZilla, we recommend you stay with the OEM construction on your tire. I would never tell anyone to deviate from stock, but I will tell you this much. If you're the type of person who does not listen to people like me, well, the only reason you have bias ply tires on your bike is because they are cheap. The OEM is trying to save money. They were trying to keep the cost of that bike down, and one of the ways they did that was by putting a crappy set of bias ply tires on your bike. If you're the type of person who's going to go out and change construction type on your tire, moving into a GPR 300, which is already in a really affordable tire that also bumps you up into a radial tire, is an immediate performance boost that you can and will feel. For that reason, it is up here as one of the best sport bike tires we run into here at RevZilla.com. So you've seen this, you've seen our best tires. Hopefully you're feeling a little bit better educated about what some of these tires can do for you, and hopefully you've homed in on one of these as possibly being the tire for you. You might want to examine one of these tires or perhaps some of the competition and figure out exactly what might be the tire for your motorcycle and your riding style and ability. Now, if you need a little bit more help, I didn't cover something for you, definitely get in touch with one of our Gear Geeks. They're friendly folks. We have plenty of people here who spend plenty of time on the track, as well as a number of very aggressive street riders. I know because I pass plenty of them on the way into work. Give them a ring and talk to one, 877-792-9455. Of course, you can always email us as well. cs@RevZilla.com will get you a Gear Geeks friendly reply. As always, I'm Lemmy. I'm out of here.